guys, welcome to my October book recommendations video. I just realized that it's almost the end of October. I guess it is the end of October when I post this video, and I have not posted a single spooky Halloween-y video in October, which is just a travesty. I made a lot of them last year. I don't know what happened this year. I was really busy. But in order to slightly make up for that lack of spooky content, I put a pumpkin and some skulls in the background of this video. Stealth spookiness. I don't know if you can really see them, because I didn't deliver this Halloween and I feel bad. Know that the spooky spirit is alive in my heart, even if it's not on my YouTube channel. Anyways, book recommendations. I didn't actually read a ton in October. If you watched my September video, I read a lot in September, but for some reason I was just more busy in October, or just like I was doing other stuff. The first and only book I read completely this month was When You Reach Me by Rebecca Stead. Can you see that? It's a really good book. It's not very long, as you can see. It's like a middle grade book. I think I read another book by Rebecca Stead called Liar and Spy earlier this year in one of my previous videos. Let me check. Yeah, way back in March, I read another book by the same author, Rebecca Stead, called Liar and Spy, which was also a middle grade novel, so they're shorter, they're about younger characters, but they're really, really good. She's an amazing writer. Liar and Spy was great, and When You Reach Me was really good as well. It was like a mystery story. It was just so cool. Like, I don't want to spoil it because a lot of it is like the character doesn't know what's happening and you don't know what's happening. I feel like this happens a lot. I feel like a lot of the books I recommend, I'm like, I don't want to say anything about them because it would ruin the surprise, but it really would. And I think it's really great to go into the story really not knowing what's going to happen, but just know that it's really charming, but also really cool. It's really, really good. So I would highly recommend this one. And also Liar and Spy by the same author, which I talked about ages ago. The other book, I haven't finished it, but I started it this month, is this Star Wars book. It's called Star Wars from a Certain Point of View, and it's actually just a collection of short stories written by various authors that sort of fill in the gaps between the end of the... What am I trying to say? Okay, the first short story in here takes place right after Rogue One, and so far it's carrying into the beginning of the first movie with Luke and Leia. And I don't know, like, where it's gonna go from there, if it's gonna go, like, all the way into the new movies, or it's just kind of gonna cover, like, little, like, things that happened within the original series, because it's sort of, like, a lot of it is things that happen in the actual movies, but, like, from different characters' points of view, like, from the point of view of, like, another general on one of the ships, or from the point of view of, a robot, or an alien on one of the planets, like, just, like, side characters and sort of their experiences of what happened to the main characters in Star Wars. Does that make sense? It's just a lot of really fun Star Wars short stories, essentially. And the main reason I bought it is because Griffin McElroy wrote one of the short stories in here. If you don't know who Griffin McElroy is, he has a podcast called Mabim Bam and a podcast called The Adventure Zone, which are both really, really good podcasts with his brothers, the other McElroy brothers. They're very popular right now, you've probably heard of them. But anyways, Griffin wrote one of these short stories, and I've read Griffin's story because it's one of the first ones, and it's really good. Like, I kind of assumed Griffin would be a good writer because he's an excellent DM in the Adventure Zone podcast, like, which is essentially telling a story when you're DMing a Dungeons & Dragons game, but he is a really good writer. His story so far, I've read maybe the first, like, third of this book. His is my favorite so far, and not just because I went into it already liking Griffin, but just I thought his story was really good. So yeah, if you like Star Wars at all, it's a really fun collection of short stories. They're good. I would recommend it. I haven't finished it yet because it's pretty thick, but really good so far. So there's that, and the other thing I'm reading at the moment, which I also haven't quite finished yet, I'm almost finished, is One Punch Man, which is another manga. I talked about My Hero Academia last month, and this is also about superheroes, but it's almost like the reverse of My Hero Academia, because My Hero Academia is this kid who wants to be like the best superhero ever, and he's going to superhero school, and then One Punch Man is about this guy who's like the strongest guy in the world. He is the strongest hero ever, but no one really knows about him or like acknowledges how strong he is, and he's just kind of like this depressed millennial who happens to be a really, really strong superhero. It's funny, it's completely different. But anyways, you've probably heard of One Punch Man. It's like pretty well known. It's a really good manga. I'm almost caught up. I'm at chapter like 60 something, and I think there's about 80 chapters at the moment. So I threw that up on Goodreads as well. Same thing with My Hero Academia. Technically, if I was counting like per volume, I would have read like 5 or 6 volumes already. But I'm just gonna count it as one thing because I don't know, I feel like it's too easy if I just shoved all these volumes on Goodreads and said, yeah, I've read 10 volumes of a manga, I'm done. So anyways, that's what I'm currently reading. The Star Wars book, the One Punch Man books, and also, I mentioned last month, I'm reading a book about writing called called The Magic Words by Cheryl Klein. That I'm also not done reading because it's kind of my textbook for my writing class, so we're like still in the process of reading it. So anyways, I have several books on the go at the moment, and I read one full book, which was only this one, When You Reach Me. So like I said, October hasn't been a particularly reading-y month. I'm only at 36 out of 52 books. Which, it's getting close to December now, so I should really start reading more, but November and December will have to be really, really reading heavy months. The nice thing about December is that I'm going to go home for Christmas, and I have pretty much the entire month that I'm spending at home with my family, not having to do homework, not having to do anything, so I'll have lots of time to read. So I'm planning on doing a ton of reading in December, and hopefully a good amount in November, because I want to get to that 52 at the end of the year, and I'm only at 36 right now, plus the 3 that I'm in the process of reading. So that's what I read this month. I would highly recommend all the things I'm reading. They're all super fun and good, and also, happy Halloween! Spooky decorations. Anyways, thank you for watching. You should comment below if you read any of the books I mentioned, if you enjoyed them. You can subscribe. I make one of these book recommendation videos every month. I'll also link to all the other ones, a playlist of the other ones in the description, and you can like this video if you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Bye.